Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Connected Spirit Podcast. It's Courtney here. And today I want to have an honest and real conversation with you. This episode is going to be raw, vulnerable, and from the heart. And you know me, I'm not about sugarcoating things or pretending like everything is always perfect. So today I'm showing up as I am, how I'm feeling, everything that's going on for me. And this is actually an episode that I've been wanting to record for some time. I just wasn't really sure when the right time was, how to process the feelings, but I've been spending a lot of time doing some inner healing, and I just really feel like I need to share this with you, you know? So let's get into that, okay? There's something that I've been carrying with me, something that's heavy, it's personal, and it's been deeply affecting me. Affecting my life, and yes, even my mediumship. It's my relationship with my daughter. And ever since my divorce, our connection has been so strained, to say the least. Like, that's an understatement. And it's really been strained for like the last 11 years. And we've had highs and lows, ups and downs. There's moments where we feel like we're connecting and things are going good. And then when I try to talk to her and just have like more closeness with her, she's just not willing to move beyond being civil. And it's hard. It's really hard. It sucks. It's as if there's this like wall between us. It's hard. She shuts down when it comes to being open with me or letting me in. And I want you to know that as her mom, it just breaks me in ways that I could never imagine. And just even sharing this with you is really, really hard. The grief that I feel over the loss of that connection with my daughter, this feeling that I'm missing out on being in her life, being in her heart, it's overwhelming. It's a pain that I carry with me every day. And I'll be honest with you, the grief that I feel from this is way deeper than what I felt when I gave birth to my stillborn daughter, Hayley. That was a totally different kind of grief. And it was heart-wrenching, yes, to hold your baby, to not have her eyes open, to not hear her cry, to not be able to take her home from the hospital. That was horrible. And there were times that I just wanted to die because the pain was so bad. But this is like next level for me because I got to take my daughter home from the hospital. I got to raise her. And I got to be her mom. I got to be in her life. I got to take her to, you know, her dance classes. And I got to be there at the Christmas concerts. And I got to take care of her when she was sick. And when she was sad, I got to be that confident. And then everything changed. So it's like there's no closure. It's just this constant ache. And it's been so hard for me to navigate. And I am a medium. You all know that. You listen to the show. And as mediums, sometimes we're expected to always have it all together, to just have these answers and know how to navigate things. And I feel like that's just this, I don't know where this expectation comes from, you guys. I don't know. I think perhaps maybe it's this perception of what people think religious people are like, or spiritual people are like we're tapped in. So we have all these answers, but it's just not the way. It's not the way it is, right? So to be these clear channels for spirit, to show up for others with love and grace, we're expected to have healed all our shit, to be able to compartmentalize personal life, human stuff, grief, pain, illness, whatever that is, and kind of park it on the shelf so we can do our work as mediums, right? So we can allow ourselves to raise our vibration and be able to connect with the world of spirit. But how do we do that? How do we show up for ourselves in our darkest moments? How do we compartmentalize all of that when what we are feeling, what we're experiencing is so deep, like we feel it in our bones? How do we do that? How do we honor the parts of ourselves that are deeply human? The parts that hurt, that break, that bleed. And I ask you that because sometimes I struggle with those questions. I struggle with finding the answers to those questions. And even though I have a practice and I sit with the spirit, I'll be honest, sometimes the human shows up. And I want to share with you, like, when we experience grief or pain, it just doesn't go away when we sit in the power or when we meditate or we connect with spirit. You know, for me, this longing to have this connection with my daughter is kind of like this shadow. It lingers, you know, and I know many of you might be going through your own struggles, whether it's relationships, loss, trauma, health issues, right? We all have something that's going on that's weighing on our hearts. And we can't spiritually bypass that. We can't just brush it under the rug and pretend everything's okay because we're quote unquote spiritual, right? There's this dangerous misconception in our world that if you're spiritual, everything is love and light and you're always aligned, but that's not real. You know that. I know that. But there's this false narrative, and then it makes us feel like, well, we have this knowledge, we have this connection, so we should be able to figure our shit out. But sometimes it's easier said than done, right? And it's just not the truth of the human experience. And it's certainly not the truth of every medium's journey. And it's certainly not mine. And our pain, our grief, our hurdles in life, our challenges, those are our teachers. They're the very things that deepen our connection to spirit. And it's through these cracks in our heart that we become more compassionate and more open and really more available to receive messages from the spirit world, but only if we honor them. We can't pretend they don't exist. We can't sugarcoat them. We can't be like, oh, that just didn't fucking suck. And that wasn't heart-wrenching. And that didn't mean anything to me. And it's not as bad as what I'm perceiving it to be. Like, no, we cannot bypass that. Because only if we acknowledge our humanness and stop trying to spiritually bypass our pain can we allow ourselves to really step into our full awareness of who we are, the I am, and really honor the fact, you guys, like, and you know, I'm sure you've heard me say this a million times on the show, and you've probably heard other spiritual practitioners, mediums, empaths, light workers say, you know, we are souls having a human experience, but that's not all we are. That's not all that makes up our identity. We are having a human experience for reasons, right? And we have to honor that. And the truth is, our lived experiences are what make us better humans. They are what make us better mediums, because when we allow ourselves to truly feel and to really just take a moment to experience the full depth of our emotions, we become clearer channels. We just do. We become better humans because we have this space within us where we can have compassion for other people because we can relate, right? And we can really stand in our power, not because we've avoided our struggles, but because we face them head on. And that is something that I've learned a lot over, particularly the last 10 years. I used to like totally ignore my pain and I would suppress it. And even going into therapy, my therapist said, Courtney, this is like really interesting. I would do a lot of like deep inner healing and work in therapy. And then when a big emotion would come up and it was so intense, there was something within my subconscious that would shut it off. And then I would forget completely what I was talking about and all the emotions would dissipate. So I had to go deeper into my healing and go, no, we can't shut this off anymore. Because what was happening is it was affecting my relationships. It was affecting the relationship I had with myself. And it was starting to manifest physically in my body, right? And we have to deal with them head on. And, you know, I don't have all the answers. I don't know what will happen with my daughter and me. And I don't know if we'll ever really heal this contention and this disconnect between us. I hope we do, but I know this. I have to honor my feelings. I have to talk about them. I have to journal it. And if it's too much for me to do on my own, not only am I going to ask the spirit world to help me, but I have no shame in going to see a therapist at all. I think everybody should go to therapy because we all have shit we need to heal, right? We're human. I have to honor these feelings of grief. And that's what it is. It's grief. It's these emotions. I'm grieving the loss of what has not been, what never transpired. And then I'm grieving about what may never be, you know? It sucks. But I have to honor it. I have to honor the human feelings. And I really want to encourage you to do the same too. right? Don't run from the hard stuff. Don't push it down. Don't try to rise above it without actually facing it, okay? Because it's in those moments, those deep, raw, messy moments, that we find our true strength and our clarity. So, to any of you that are listening who are going through something right now, I see you. I feel you. And I'm with you. Honor where you're at. It's okay to not have it all figured out. It's okay to grieve, to hurt, to feel lost, to not have all the answers. You're still beautiful. You are still incredibly blessed to be here. The world is incredibly blessed to have you here. You're a powerful light worker. You're a powerful medium. Maybe, just maybe, it's these experiences that will bring you even closer to the spirit world. I want to thank you today for holding space for me, because it's just something I'm going through and I just need to be really upfront and real, and it sucks. And I hope that it helps you know that doesn't matter, even though I'm a medium, that you're listening to me here, that I am human and I go through this stuff, right? And I just hope that by sharing my story, it's going to allow you to feel less alone in yours. And until next time, you guys, just be really gentle with yourself, honor your humanness, and remember, you're always enough. I love you.